welcome to the Technesthetic Podcast. I'm Eric, and this is Randy.
Hello. It's like a Christmas edition.
Festive edition. Let's go, dude.
Overlay some like jingle bells in there.
Jingle bells, dude. That'd be funny. We got a couple topics we're going to talk about today. We both watched The Matrix 4. We got a water cooling disaster to talk about. We got, what are we playing during the holidays? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Blender finally getting metal support for the Mac. So we got some interesting like results for that. And then Imac Rumors, all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of stuff,
dude. So where do we want to start this off, dude? Where do we want to start this off?
Let's just go in the order you announced them. Let's just go top down.
Okay, Matrix 4. So I watched it yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you watch it in theater or HBO Max? Because
I watched it on HBO Max.
Yeah, I knew you did.
Where I'm at, dude, like I don't know, like the theaters suck, right? Like,
I would have too. I just don't have HBO Max, and I was just like, I don't really feel like it. Like we were gonna do that. Like we were gonna have like a watch party, people come over.
Yeah.
And then they were like, no, let's go to the theater. So we went to Cinema Cafe. And
that sounds cool.
It's cool because you can get food and stuff, right? And they have like pretty decent recliners that are motorized, so you can like recline and stuff, and it's assigned seating, so you can get where you want to go.
Okay.
So, you know, we had reservations for like this slot, and they come and they serve you food, but it's kind of loud in there, so it's not like, I know you and I, like, you probably like appreciate the actual movie watching experience.
I do.
Like Cinema Cafe, like if you want to watch a film and like really be engrossed into this film, like immersed, Cinema Cafe maybe not the best, but like it's kind of sick because they serve you food and drinks. So
that's pretty cool.
If you're just like casually watching a movie, you might not like have that much invested in. It's kind of the place to go. Anyway.
So like, yeah, kind of like where I'm at, dude, is like we have a Cinemark, which is kind of nice, right?
Yeah.
Like I think Cinemark's kind of like I would assume, like I see that name thrown around a lot, like across the United States, but ours hasn't been updated since like 2002. So like all of the projectors are like just not good.
Yeah,
I guess you could say, like they just look blurry to me.
Right.
And like some of them don't look color balanced. Like you could go in like there's probably, I want to say like A through K for like theater rooms, and like you can go into theater A and watch a movie, and then go into theater J or K and watch the same movie, which I know because I did for Rogue One.
Yeah.
And it looks like a totally different film because like the theaters aren't like matched or anything.
That's why I only go to like IMAX, like if I go. Like, because at least they have like kind of certified gear and like standards. So, but like at least that's like the impression I got from IMAX. Yeah. But other than that, like, like when we went to watch The Matrix, like the Cinema Cafe, like the projector they were using was not that great, I could tell. But in addition to that, like it was funny because they were, it was cold outside. They're pumping heat into the room, and I can literally see like heat waves distorting the lights at the top of the screen. I'm not even kidding. That's funny. I was like, what the hell?
my assumption of what happened at my Cinemark is likely like they may have had to like factory reset some projectors or something like that, and then some guy or whomever did that reset was just like, looks good enough, you know what I mean, and never actually redid anything.
That's why if you're, I don't know, man, that's why it's overhyped, like the theater experience. Like once you get a good setup at home, it's like, I don't need to go here anymore where there are people. I don't need people.
Yeah, plus I don't have to deal with people either, so that was kind of nice,
Sometimes it's fun. Like it's always cool when something cool happens in a movie and the whole theater gets hype and stuff, and you're like, okay, there's good vibes here. But like, other than that, like I haven't seen a good enough movie for that to happen in a long time, though. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the last like really enjoyable movie experience I had was and I didn't even like the movie that much, but just like the vibe of the theater was The Force Awakens.
Okay.
Like the Star Wars, like the first true return to form for Star Wars.
Right.
Like granted, while a lot of people think that those new sequels are not that great, myself included, the vibe of the theater because no one has seen it yet was pretty awesome. You know, like there were people in costume, people was having a good time. You know, like it was just
the thing about that movie, The Force Awakens, is it was like the safest one, right? Like it was like a rehash of like A New Hope or whatever. So it felt like it was like a cozy movie for Star Wars fans.
It was a safe bet, yeah.
Safe bet. So everybody kind of went in like at the end we were probably disappointed. It was nothing revolutionary, but it was a safe movie and it was fun. And everybody was happy to see Star Wars. So it was like
everybody's happy to see Star Wars again, you know.
And then they had the next two movies, which I didn't even watch the third one in the trilogy.
I don't think you're really missing a lot on there.
Yeah, I just heard what it was.
Sue, that's pretty much all you need to know.
Yeah, that's kind of what I heard, and I was just like, I don't care anymore. Like I you know, it sucks because I was somebody when I was a young lad. Okay, I had like the original Star Wars trilogy special edition on VHS, and I watched that like all the time.
All right, we have to have a serious question here.
Yeah.
Now, if you have the same VHS trilogy that I did, it came in a Darth Vader box, and one half was silver and one half was gold, and the gold was the 4:3 full screen aspect ratio, and the silver box was the 16:9 widescreen box. So if you had those box sets, I'm curious to know which one you picked up.
Dang, you know what? I don't remember. I think I had shoot, I don't remember. I thought mine was gold. I can't remember though.
The gold was the full screen one. So I will say that young Randy assumed that full screen was better than widescreen sitting on a 4:3 one. So I had the same one, but then like older Randy was like, "Oh man, I goofed."
Yeah, I know. Well, it's kind of funny because back then, like I had 4:3 displays.
So did I. Yeah.
So you know, we all had CRT TVs. You know, and so like at least I did. So I was watching them on there, like binge watching them. You know, and I mean. Maybe for that format, you know, 4:3 was optimal. Dude, who knows?
Who knows, man?
But yeah, I mean, obviously, if you have a 16:9 display, that's better. But yeah, I don't know, man. It was interesting, but yeah, I was really sad to see those movies. But in The Matrix, here's another thing. The Matrix was another one of those. Like, there's a couple franchises that, like, when I was young, I sort of binged watched, and like, The Matrix was one of those. You know. I think I was watching, like, I have a couple, right? Like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, The Matrix, like a couple other movies, like, kind of hit that for me where I would rewatch them over and over. The Harry Potter franchise, I was a big fan of Harry Potter. So, like, you know, obviously when they announced that they were making the Matrix 4, I'm like hyped because I like the Matrix. I was
so hyped, dude. So hyped. I watched that trailer like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And like I haven't watched all like the spoiler videos where people tried to dissect the trailer of like what exactly happened.
Right.
Like I really like the one theory I saw where they mentioned that like maybe Neo was just suffering from or Thomas Anderson rather was just suffering from like a bad mental spell, or maybe he was in a coma and like the Matrix doesn't really exist. You know what I mean?
Wow, that would have been super deep.
Like that would have been crazy deep, right? Like
yeah, that would have been incredible.
Yeah. But I feel we got something worse. So.
Well, I'd say that we did. You know, so I'm not gonna. I don't want to spoil it for the podcast. If you're a listener, I think that it's kind of an iconic release because the Matrix is an iconic franchise, but
I watched the trailer before this,
yes.
So anything I mention or bring up
will be based off of
you would know
trailer.
by watching the trailer.
Okay.
So there's one thing that I feel pretty strongly about. Them bringing back Morpheus. He doesn't need to be in the movie.
No.
His character serves no point.
Well, it's not really Morpheus, which is I mean, that's kind of a spoiler, but like not at the same time. He's kind of like, but he is, but he isn't. He's not really though. It's really confusing to me. I need a second watch to understand what the deal with the Matrix 4 Morpheus is. I still don't know.
I can explain it to you. If you're ready for it.
I mean, is it a spoiler? I guess. It is.
I mean, kind of, but not really, because if you see the trailer, you know it's not Lawrence Fishburne.
Okay,
right?
well,
so
yeah.
You know there's got to be something going on here. So essentially, all they did was they downloaded his Matrix code construct and made another Morpheus from his code from the Matrix.
Oh, okay.
That's all it is.
in theory it's Morpheus, but not really. Okay,
Right.
got it.
It's Cortana Morpheus.
Okay, got it. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't like how I thought if you're gonna bring Morpheus back, you should bring back the original cast, right?
But he died in the film, so
it's true. They actually said he died. So I was like, okay, well, yeah, you can't bring him back, but he could have been an original character. I think that's what rubs me, right? I was like, why didn't you? Why'd you have to do the?
His character served no purpose. His character never once advanced the plot. His character never did anything pivotal to the plot.
Yeah,
they almost
in the
put
very
him in the
beginning,
movie.
there was stuff with him, but then it fell off real quick.
Yeah, but anyone could have done that, right? Like, because he wouldn't have recognized who that guy was anyway. Yeah. So like anyone could have been that person. It didn't have to be Morpheus again. It almost, but between their use of Morpheus and like the constant throwbacks of showing literal clips from the first 3 movies within this movie, I kind of feel like they're playing on or trying to play on nostalgia a lot more than actually making a movie that could stand on its own.
Right. There was too much nostalgia, kind of like, here, remember this. Like, it was just too much. I'm somebody that can appreciate some nostalgia throwback, but like it was kind of forced a little bit. Like,
it's very forced.
Very forced.
Like I said, I think the whole Morpheus character was forced in the movie.
And speaking of characters, like there was just too many of them, I think, and none of them got really developed. Even like a couple of characters that I felt like were sort of main characters, like the Morpheus or the blue-haired girl. I don't even remember her name.
Oh, dude, her name is actually awesome. That's one of the things I liked. Her name is Bugs.
Bugs? Okay, awesome. Yeah.
You know why? You know why? Because she has the white rabbit on her shoulder, so she's the bunny. She's Bugs Bunny.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I actually thought that was pretty good.
Yeah,
right?
That's great. Yeah, I liked her character. She didn't get fleshed out nearly enough. Like I felt like there should have been like some what's the stakes for her? Like where's the risk reward for her? Like I don't know. It's kind of like, and it felt like that for a lot of her crew. Like she's supposed to be a captain, and she's got a crew, and I'm just like, who are you people?
Well, they kind of painted it off as like when they get to what's it called, Ion?
Yeah, Ion.
Zion without a Z or something like that.
I think it's Io. Yeah,
Io. All right, Zion without a Z or an N.
Yeah.
They kind of touch on like how like there's like these like the bulk majority who have kind of embraced the future and embraced the reality for what it is, but there's like this small sect of people who kind of latched on to like Morpheus's beliefs and Morpheus's teachings.
Yeah,
and
right.
I think she and her crew fell heavily into that camp. So when they got wind that Neo was back in the game, they kind of wanted to do what they can. So like I'm kind of okay with that part.
So let's cut it off here because I don't want to go too deep into spoilers. Because I want to give the podcast. Right? Yeah, it is really difficult. So, but I think that what we want to summarize on The Matrix 4 is like you said to me, it was like a 3 out of 10.
I think it's a 3 out of 10. I have no desire to watch it again. Desire to watch it again.
So for me, I don't really know much about your movie scale, right? Like, so I don't have any frame of reference for how good or bad the 3 out of 10 is. Because you know how like most game reviews, it's like 6 out of 10.
Like I'm not an IGN, so like for me, a 5 is literally an okay movie. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like because it's right
not weighted like most.
Right? No. So just to give some perspective to this, so I'm a big James Bond fan. I'm a big Matrix fan, but I just watched the intro for No Time to Die because it's Daniel Craig's last James Bond. For those of you who don't know that, or maybe do know that, And like that's kind of sad to me because I think Daniel Craig is the best James Bond. And then Sean Connery would be second now. I think that his portrayal of James Bond is fresh. He does a really good job, and you could tell that he actually loves the role and he's passionate about it.
Okay.
And I literally watched the first like up to where the James Bond song comes on, and including the James Bond song, and that little 30-minute snippet gave me chills. Like I almost like I had to pause what I was watching and then just walk away for a second because it was so good.
Nice.
Now I can't say the whole movie's going to be that way because I haven't seen it yet, but just that intro scene, like that was literally like just perfect. Even down to like the color grading. Like I had to tell you, like this movie looks so good.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I want to watch it. Is I know it's going to be like a cinematic, beauty. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Whoever color graded that and like the cinematography, again, just in the first 30 minutes is mind blowing.
Okay.
So like approach that angle with like thinking of like how you would get shots for like B-roll and stuff,
right?
And just look at some of the angles that like they take, which is kind of what I like to do now when I watch movies is like look at the angle that the camera's at, like how the shot is framed, things like that. And for me personally, it makes movie watching more enjoyable. So
it's true.
And the only reason I kind of went off on like the side road right there is because having watched The Matrix yesterday and just the intro of James Bond today, being as hyped for The Matrix as I was for James Bond, it's like a total night and day in my opinion. Again, you know, I think that The Matrix probably should have been a one and done film. That's kind of the camp I'm in. Like, I'm definitely not a fan of 3. 2 is okay. I would give 1 about an 8 or a 9. I would give 2 a 5 or a 6, and I would give 3 probably a 4 or a 5.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then I give this one a generous 3.
Right, so. Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's cool, man. I mean, I kind of agree. I mean, when I was young, you know, I didn't have really a developed sense of taste. So, you know, I liked 2 and 3, but that's just because, you know, I liked The Matrix. And
when I was younger,
I was a big nerd. So
when I was younger, I actually put 2 above 1 because 2 had like just Neo being a badass. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. There was a really neat OP Neo scenes.
Right. So like young Randy, who watched movies in full screen, in 4:3 aspect ratio, liked The Matrix too.
Right.
But older Randy loves the plot, the acting, the story development, just the bookendedness of The Matrix 1 a lot better. I think it's really, you know, well done.
Yeah, no, I agree. I reflect that. In The Matrix 4, you know, it kind of felt like, I don't know, a story that didn't really need to be told, but
no.
I'm wondering if they'll do more, you know, Matrix after this, depending on how well it does in the box office.
So, like, this is kind of the weird thing, right? Like, if you look at reviews, like, I purposefully didn't look at any reviews prior to watching it because I was just afraid of spoilers.
Right.
But IGN gave it a 4.
Wow.
So like if you know IGN's scale, and they gave it a 4.
That's nuts.
But I can also tell you that one of my coworkers went to the Cinemark that we just talked about to see it.
Yeah.
And the time he wanted was sold out.
Wow.
So
I think it's selling, dude. Like this, The Matrix is iconic.
Right, but it's selling because of that reason. Yeah. It's not selling because it's necessarily a good movie.
Right.
It's selling because it's a Matrix movie.
It must be seen. Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm cool with. You know,
I agree.
Like I feel like if they base The Matrix 5 off of sales numbers of The Matrix 4, I think The Matrix 5 is going to be a big fall off.
Yeah. Do you think like we could end up with a Matrix cinematic universe, almost like Star Wars is now with side story movies and all this other shit? Do you think we could end up with like The Matrix, like random ass side story and like, you know,
I'd like
spin-offs?
to see it. I'd like to see it, but probably not based off of the failure of 4. Like, I mean, if you watch any review, like.
Okay.
I'm not in the minority by thinking it's not very good.
Yeah. No, I mean everybody I've seen, like I've watched a bunch of reviews and stuff because I wanted to see, you know, obviously I want to see what my favorite reviewers think about it, and you know they've all been saying the same things. It's not that good. You know, it had to be watched, but it wasn't that good.
Like I'm definitely glad I saw it. Like it's a fairly long movie, guys.
So you know,
I love Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
like it's 2 hours and 35 minutes.
Right. You know what I kept thinking, dude?
What's that?
I kept thinking like Neo should have been more badass. I kept thinking that, like, if you're the one. Like, you should be able to do some nutty ass shit in the Matrix. Yeah, like, it's literally code, right? Think about like the crazy magic shit you could do.
I want to discuss that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go into spoilers.
Yeah. I'm not gonna.
I do want to say, though, that in the Matrix 2 or 3, I forget which one it is now, those two kind of blend together. Then them giving him powers in the real world.
Yes. That was
kind of
like, kind
of. Well, that's kind of okay. I get that.
Yes.
Like in the closed spectrum of 1 to 3,
Okay.
I can kind of buy that. But now with what happens to his character in 4, none of that no longer makes sense.
It didn't,
because of what happens with him and Trinity. Nothing of him having powers in the real world makes any lick of sense because of Matrix 4 now.
Yeah.
And like I purposefully like tried to Google this and no one could give me an answer. Like other people have realized what I realized, but no one was able to explain it to me.
Right. Well, I think what happened was they written themselves into a corner there. You know what I mean? Like there was just so much. Like the Matrix is kind of heavy, you know. In
we only have one of the sisters on this movie too, so
yeah, that's true. That's true. Interesting. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think that it was a fun movie, but it was like not good.
Yeah, it definitely kept me entertained. It definitely kept me entertained.
Yeah.
For
the fight scenes could have been
minutes.
better, though. I think.
No, I agree. I agree with you. That one fight scene that was like in the old building with the mall was just weird.
Yeah, it was. It was weird. It was weird. I was like, it was all over the place.
It was very hard to follow.
Feel like it flowed. You know what I mean? Like a good fight scene flows. I get it. Like, and you just feel like you're with it. You're with the fight.
Do you watch Smarter Every Day?
Occasionally, yeah.
That fight scene is more like turbulent flow than laminar flow.
Laminar flow, dude.
Yeah, dude. Wasn't it though?
Yeah, that's so funny. You're right. It was turbulent flow, dude. It wasn't laminar flow at all.
No, it wasn't.
Dude, that's so funny. Good reference. But yeah, I mean, that's all I really had about the Matrix 4. It was fun, but it wasn't good.
No, yeah.
That's my opinion on it, dude. Let's move on. Speaking of, flow. Exactly, dude. Let's roll into water cooling disaster, dude. So,
yeah, so as some of you may know who follow the podcast or listen regularly, I've been struggling with the idea of going back and forth between tearing down my computer and going full Mac.
Yeah.
The powers that be have decided to make that decision for me.
Yeah, dude.
Because I experienced a pump failure, and I didn't know it because I have on these boys right here, which if you've used AirPods Maxes, you know that they are second to none when it comes to noise canceling.
Yep.
So I didn't hear that my computer was no longer pumping water. I couldn't hear it.
Right.
And I was playing a video game at the time, and the water got crazy hot, and a seal broke on the one tube that goes into my CPU water block, and it just started falling water all over my computer inside with it on. It turned off immediately. It got so hot that steam was coming out of the inside of the computer.
Oh my god, steam, dude.
Yeah. It wasn't quite boiling, dude, but like steam was coming out of it. Like the side glass panel got foggy.
Oh my god.
And like it was hot. Like I immediately tried to like grab the hose, and like I couldn't even grab it. Like it was hot, huh? dude. It blew my mind how hot that was. So I switched to a Mac setup using my current M1 13-inch Mac, and I'm waiting to order an M1 Max, which, by the way, guys, full disclosure, I've made my decision. I'm definitely going that route.
Okay, yep.
Just because I was kind of already on the fence, and I kind of found decent workarounds for my setup. So
hold on real quick. Let me show the podcast this watery mess. So I got a picture here on screen Randy sent to me. He like called me late at night. I was already in bed, and like I ignored his call because I'm sleeping, dude.
Dude, you always ignore my calls. You leave me on red, dude.
I left.
Could have been dying.
Yeah, dude. I'm sorry. But anyway, so he sent me this picture, dude, and dude, this is a nightmare. Look at this. There's water all over the top of this card, and you know he's got the plate there. So I mean, obviously that's clutch. But like, look at this water mess, dude. Water went everywhere. I guess it just came out. You know, it was so hot. Okay, hold on. You're showing the podcast something, dude? Look, there it is. He took the block off.
I don't have a banana for scale, but this thing is massive.
Yeah, the 3090, huh?
Well, the 3090 Strix especially. That's 3 8-pins.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's insane.
I wish I had something like here's my iPhone Pro. Like it's almost as wide as it.
Oh, hold on. I can't see it because
it's cut off.
Yeah, it's cut off. Yeah, there you go. Oh my god, dude, it's huge.
It's giant, dude.
It's huge.
Fortunately, I think this is still okay. Because the water block kind of just waterfalled water off of it, and then when I took the water block off of it, there was no water in the PCIe slot, and there was no water under the water block. So I cleaned this out the best I could. I went over it with a Q-tip with 99% isopropyl alcohol, the same one that I used to clean my 3D print pad on.
Yep.
And I just ordered some new thermal paste, so I'm gonna put this on and try to get it back together and see if we have life in it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, hopefully, because that's the expensive way. Yeah, I'm
kind of hopeful on this. Like, in all honesty, I didn't plan on like parting out my 3900 XT and selling that, because like it's just not worth the hassle, right? I'm gonna get like what, $200 for that, and eBay's gonna take 30%, and then I'm gonna have to ship it out. It's just it's just not worth it to me, right? It's worth more to keep it on my shelf in case I needed it again. So like, I'm not too upset about that. So like, if this kind of works, I'll be fine. You know what I mean? Like I'll be okay.
Yeah, hopefully your stuff is good. It probably is, but yeah, I mean, I almost felt like Tim Cook himself like remoted in and like turned off your pumps.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
he's
dude.
like, he wants to go full Mac. Let's make sure, dude.
Yeah, dude. And like 30. How old am I? 34-year-old Randy. I'm kind of impressed with like how not upset I am.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so funny.
And I'm kind of not upset because I feel like it was something totally outside of my control. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
yeah, for sure.
So it's like, don't cry over spilled milk. I can't cry over spilled water. So
die. And if you're asking questions like he had the pumps hooked up straight to DC power. He did not have PWM control, no motherboard warning or anything. It just toasty.
I thought about that anyway, though. Like, what if the pump failed while the computer was on? Then I wouldn't have gotten a motherboard notification anyway.
Well, I suppose you could set up temperature warnings, right? Like, I guess you could do that.
Yeah.
But like for your because your GPU was probably getting pretty toasty, dude.
I'm telling you, like I couldn't even touch it.
Yeah. So like it must have been like freaking out, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things. I mean, shit.
Yeah. So
what can you do, dude?
I guess the moral of the story moving forward is like, I don't want to scare anyone away from water cooling, but my takeaway from it is don't skimp out on fail safes, which is probably what I should have done. Like you said, I probably should have like temp thresholds. I probably should have had some sort of OS based temperature monitor,
right? Where it'll go
temperature
off.
monitoring
software. If you're running the ASUS software, it will warn you. Like it'll have a pop up. I don't like to run those.
I don't either.
But like,
I mean, my practice in the past was I would install Armory Crate, set RGB to the color I wanted, and then get rid of it. And then uninstall Armory Crate.
Yeah.
So
I also run what is this, Core Temp? So like that could have told me on like the CPU side, like your CPU's toasty as hell, dude. Like warning.
Yeah.
So Core Temp could have told me, or like I don't know if like EVGA like Precision X would warn you. I don't know.
I don't know if it would warn me, but I can guarantee you that there's software out there that I could have been running that could have. So
yeah,
if anything, that was my mistake.
Now I've had a pump die in the past, but like my pump's always been audibly audible, and so like
mine is audible.
When I turned on my computer and it didn't go like ramp up, I was like, "What's going on?" And that's how I knew mine had died.
So let me rephrase.
And I also can visually see like bubble shit. Like I can see if my pump is pumping because I'll have turbulence in my flow.
I have one of those pinwheels.
Yeah.
And when I turn my computer on, the pinwheel is pinning. But when but when the flood happened, when we discovered the flood, the pinwheel was not spinning.
Yeah, so maybe it died like shortly after boot or something like that, or mid gameplay. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've had pumps die too.
The weirdest thing is I was literally going to tear down the computer that night. But my boy called me to get on to help the raid out.
Yeah. Had to wow it up, dude.
Yeah, dude.
He wasn't ready to wow on the Mac yet.
If I didn't get that call, I would have just taken apart the computer and everything would have been fine.
Are you gonna raid on the Mac when you get the 16?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
For sure.
It'll work.
Yeah. No. It actually works very well. I've tested it already.
That's cool, dude.
So
let me show off. Let me show off your desk, dude. So I got 2 pictures I got from you. One of them was with the little hello that you put. So it's got like his. This is with his 13 right now.
Yeah, the 13.
This is one desk setup, so you can see he's got like a really clean, very clean setup. He's got the one cable, dude, set up. He's got like a really nice custom keyboard. What is that keyboard, dude? Tell me all about it.
So this is from a guy called Zeal. He's kind of well known in the mechanical keyboard world. It's a Zeal Xeno in purple with a rose gold mid plate. I'm a fan of mid plate mounting. I think the keys feel pretty nice.
Yeah,
gives a little bit nice spring. For switches, we have lubed with. I think this is Cryo GP0.
Nice.
And they are lubed pink Securos linear switches with GMK Violet Tendencies keycaps.
Okay. Are those pink switches the same as mine? No.
Probably not.
Because they, you know how they had no. Because it was like what was the key switch they sold, like the Tiffany blue ones, and then they had the pink ones too. Do you remember what I'm talking about? That's what I'm running. I forget what those are.
They might be then. I linked these to you.
Yeah.
If they might be, because I probably told you to get these because I think that these are some of the best switches on planet
Those are
Earth.
what I'm running right now.
Okay, yeah, they're awesome. They're insane.
Those are I love them, dude. I got a couple spare and they're just fantastic. So I'm running the same ones, and those are great key switch. I'll go ahead and show the. Why not? Why not just show it off, dude? Look at these pretty boys, then.
Sorry, it's a Crytox GPL205G05 loop.
Okay, nice. So it's basically full custom, very attractive keyboard, and then you have the no mouse.
And it runs VIA, by the way, in case anyone's interested.
Oh, okay.
And like you get into the custom keyboard game. So what VIA is it's basically open source software that can reprogram all of the chipsets, all of the Amiga chipsets and custom keyboards. So I've already went ahead and reprogrammed mine for the Mac OS layout too. So I'm good to go on there.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, dude. No mouse, right?
No mouse, dude. And it's just you got the what do they call that? The Magic Trackpad, dude.
Yeah, the Magic Trackpad 2.
Okay.
Which we just found out is
the wedge,
discontinued.
dude. It's like a doorstop or something.
It is like a doorstop. Yeah.
Discontinued because it's the space gray one, right?
It is space gray one, which they'll probably come back out with again as soon as we get a new iMac Pro.
Yeah,
but Eric and I have had this discussion offline a little bit, but Mac OS just feels so good with a trackpad, right? Like it's probably one of the few instances, where when I use a computer, more specifically a laptop, but I don't instantly feel the need to plug a mouse into. And I think you're kind of the same way. Is that correct?
Yeah, for sure. It's the first one. And honestly, it's kind of funny because I like the trackpad better than the mouse a lot of times.
I do.
It's crazy. It's like literally unthinkable to me that I would say that. I
don't know if like we're on split view right now, but when we actually do like play games, because we did talk about World of Warcraft, I'll use this mouse just because you have to for a video game. But if I'm not, and I'm just like chilling right now, like I just use my Magic Trackpad. Like this is what I use. And I think it works great. Like web page scrolling is fantastic. Scrolling through, email messages, normal web browsing, even photo editing and video editing. I think that things like applying a mask, at least for me, is a lot easier with a trackpad. I feel like I have more precision with my finger than trying to move a mouse around to paint something.
Yo, show that mouse again, dude. Show that mouse again. Trying to see if it matches mine. It's a newer version. Yep.
This is the MX Master 3.
I have the 2S.
So fun story. I actually own every version of this mouse. I have the MX Master in the original black and gold colorway that I use at work. So that's permanently at my work desk. Then I had when I had my old 16 i9 MacBook Pro, I bought the MX Master 2 for that in like the sand colorway.
Yeah.
And that's actually upstairs on my iMac server. I have like an old I want to say 2014 or 2015 Retina 4K iMac server that just runs Rune. It just runs my music software pretty much. And that's where that one is.
Okay.
And then when I got the 13 M1, I had to buy it again because it's honestly the best mouse. And in my opinion, what makes it the best mouse for Mac is this little thumb rest part right here.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you guys can see it. You can program this to switch between multiple desktops. So, and what I mean by that is like Mac OS handles multiple desktops really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of the reasons why you don't really need multiple monitors when you're in Mac OS. Again, at least in my opinion. So I basically program that if I push down on my thumb and then move the mouse either left or right, it's basically a 3-finger swipe on the trackpad.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I loved it.
And like it's really hard to go to a mouse that doesn't have that functionality on Mac.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I'm locked into an MX Master for gaming on the Mac. Otherwise, I just use the Magic Trackpad because it's just perfect. It's a really nice experience.
Yeah, I'd say I like mine a lot. I just, to me, it's a little too heavy. I'm used to really light mice now because I'm still rocking the Ninja Air 58, which, 58 grams. And like, I'm just so used to like light mice now that the MX Master is a little too heavy now for me.
No, I get that. If I played more games, like more like Twitch shooters, right? Like if I played Halo on keyboard and mouse, I would probably be in the same camp. But as you know, I also have the Resolve Speed Editor right here.
Yeah. I got mine too.
But what's kind of busted too on the MX Master, if you don't have one of those, is the horizontal. I'm trying to like put it from my eyes. Is the horizontal scroll wheel for your timeline?
Yeah,
that's
cool.
a really nice feature.
Yeah, for sure.
So I just feel like this is better for productivity stuff, but right there with you, if you're into gaming and you do any sort of, Twitch shooter gaming or even gaming in general, I think lighter the better is the way to go.
If I were to buy a mouse right now and I didn't have my final mouse, I'd get the Logitech G Pro X, super light.
It's really interesting you say that because the mouse I used on my desktop was a G Pro wireless.
Yeah.
As you know, I do have two Final Mouse Air 58s, but I was really OCD about matching my mouse with my desk.
Your build, dude. Sex appeal.
I would switch them out from time to time. I would actually try to match them with my keycaps because like the Air 58s come in some pretty nice colorways.
Yeah, like to me, this is like the this is the G Pro wireless basically 2.0. I don't know.
Is that the one that was designed with Shroud? Because I think Shroud helped design a G Pro wireless.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be, but it's basically it's the Pro X, Logitech G Pro X.
Logitech G Pro X Shroud Edition.
Yeah, okay. It's got a couple esports gamers here on their little promo page. And this is the one I would get. Yeah, it's super nice. Like I was wanting to get it just because it's like a wireless boy that I could take on the go with me. And I don't know. And I kind of like the clean look of a wireless mouse. Oh yeah, same. So like, I don't know, man. Like if I do ever get rid of my final mouse, this is actually my second final mouse because I had scroll wheel issues on
oh really?
My other one. And I had to, you know how I bought the red one and then the blue one. And then my red one had issues.
I don't remember your red one having issues. I just remember us both buying both colorways.
Yeah, so the red one had issues, so I ended up Amanda was using the blue one but ended up not liking it, so she took my G Pro wireless. And then I took the blue one, took it apart, took my red shell and put it on her blue one. So
nice.
That's why I'm rocking the red mouse, but I have the blue cable coming out like this blue sleeve. So it's truly custom.
Custom boy.
Custom
boy.
But yeah, dude. So anyway, that was off topic, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's all setup stuff.
Yeah, it's all. So I got pictures of your setup here. This is like the more full view I wanted to show, where you have like the Mac on like a stand.
I do. The stand is really nice.
Yeah, it's like a really clean looking setup. I see you got like some kind of filter on this where it's like stylized. It looks pretty nice. And then you have like some kind of golf club photo, fucking. Actually. You got some golf club frame thing, dude, on the left. Like, what's going on?
Oh yeah, dude. Kelly actually found that for me at an estate sale. It's supposed to be on my office, but I just didn't get there yet because I've had a few days off for the holidays. But it's like this like really old, like probably from like I would say that late 70s or early 80s of like all old golf clubs that I'm going to hang in my
cool,
office at work.
Dude. It's so
really
good
nice.
vibes.
It's really nice. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yes. Look at this. You got the Switch OLED on your desk too, dude.
I do, dude.
Look at that, dude. It kind of matches. Look at that.
It looks so nice.
Caps, dude.
It's so nice. It's clean, right?
It
clean
is,
boy,
dude. It's so good. It matches. I love it.
I also have to say that just the Apple ecosystem, when you go all in, we've been praising this for a while, so like it's kind of, you know, beating a dead horse at this point, but using my Mac as a main computer for even a couple days, like just the seamlessness of having the AirPods Max, and then when I take them off, it reroutes the audio back to my 2 stereo HomePod minis.
Yeah.
Like that is just so cool. That's just so cool to me. So like I literally have a 1 cable setup, which, you know, from our old podcast, we kind of had some issues with that.
Yeah.
So here's what I've decided on. For the time being, I've decided on settling for using my CalDigit TS3 Plus dock and then using DisplayPort to HDMI to the monitor.
Okay.
Because I get 4K 60. The only thing I lose out on is HDR.
Okay.
Which I feel is kind of okay because I don't edit an HDR workflow.
Right.
And I only really play World of Warcraft.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not really missing anything by not having HDR on my monitor currently. So for me right now, that's where I'm going to rock it.
Okay.
But if there ever comes a time when I do need that functionality, I'll just plug in the Apple dongle.
Yeah, that's fine. Makes sense. That's cool, dude. I mean, it's a real clean setup, I got to say. Hopefully, you know, you'll get your 16-inch MacBook Pro in a timely manner because I know, you know, you'll definitely enjoy that power. And then,
I'm waiting until tomorrow when we exchange gifts because I think Santa's bringing me some Apple gift cards.
Oh, so. Yeah, Santa, dude. Let's go, dude.
Coming down the chimney, dude.
yeah, Apple gift card in hand. Let's go, dude. That's cool. Yeah, I love it. So hopefully that turns out. I look forward to seeing how you like it. You know what? Let's since we're talking about Apple stuff, I want to talk about that Blender thing. Yeah, so you sent me a message and I was very excited. You were like, "Yo, dude, check it out! Like it looks like metal support came to Blender." And I was like, oh, man, because, you know, obviously we've been waiting for that. Blender's been one of those things that a lot of reviewers are using to benchmark these new MacBooks, and it doesn't even have metal support.
Yeah, it seems really odd.
Yeah, it's like guys, let's wait till metal's here. Let's see what happens. So I did some testing, you know, just rudimentary, quick. Opened an old project, and I opened it on a couple things. I put it on my main PC here with a 3080 with GPU rendering. And then I put it on the Mac, and I rendered it twice on the Mac. I use CPU rendering, which is what we've been doing, right? This is for people that are interested. If you want to have metal support, you got to download the latest alpha build of Blender 3.1. Okay.
We should probably also preface this by this is an alpha build.
Correct.
So even the people at Blender Project have said that this isn't final performance. It's going to get better.
It is. So, you know, obviously I was very excited. So what I did, I rendered it CPU render. This is just one frame. And it said it was going to take over 15 minutes to complete. So I didn't even bother. I was just like, God, that's a long time.
What machine was this on?
This is on the M1 Max.
Okay.
So I had it on my, you know, this is my 14-inch M1 Max. It said 15 minutes plus remaining. And I was just like, okay, I'm not even.
What render test was this? Do you remember off the top of your head?
What render test?
Mm-hmm.
So I was using the Cycles renderer, and I was doing, it was my own personal project. Do you remember that one thing I sent you where I had the TV and the couch and the chair? And that took quite a long time to render per frame. And it uses a lot of different effects from like different particle sim stuff, like hair for the carpet. It was using a hair sim. So there's like a lot of stuff there. Lots of different, was it PBR materials or whatever? With, you know, ray traced reflections and shadows and everything. So it's a very complex scene is what I'm getting at. And so it took, let's see, it would have took over 15 minutes to render with the CPU. But if I switched it to the metal renderer, it took 3 minutes and 15 seconds. So that's that's a big jump, you know, from going from 15 minutes to 3 minutes, 15 seconds per frame.
But that's almost a 5-time increase.
Which is pretty good. So out of curiosity, I went to the desktop, and I was using the Cycles render. I was using CUDA, which you told me that was wrong, which I didn't know. On CUDA, I was getting it at 2 minutes and 33 seconds. So a little bit faster than 3 minutes
45
and 15.
seconds faster.
Yeah, so
45 seconds
faster on the desktop. But then you said, yo, you're actually, because you have RT cores, you're supposed to be using optics render. And I was like, oh, shit. I didn't know that. So I switched to optics, and it took it down to 1 minute 59 seconds. So just to recap, 1 minute 59 seconds with optics on the 3080. With optics, yeah. CUDA was 2 minutes and 33, and then with the metal render on the M1 Max, it was 3 minutes and 15 seconds. So
that's crazy. That's crazy to me.
So you're looking at 2 minutes versus 3 minutes and 15 seconds, really, from the 3080 versus like the M1 Max. So not a bad result though. Like this is really good. You were going from having to do like 15-minute long renders. I think it took like, because I was using my 13-inch M1, just regular M1 Mac to help me render this project, because it was like, I don't know, a lot of frames, right?
So
it was like 900
I want to point
frames.
something out there,
yeah,
or maybe have a discussion on this. So when you use your optics renderer on your desktop 3080,
yes,
that card's pulling 320 watts.
Oh, and I forgot to mention. Not only was I doing that, but I was also using the CPU as well. I wasn't just using the GPU. I was
on the computer,
on the desktop.
Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, both.
Okay.
Both.
So, okay, because I was going to say that the M1 Max on the Alpha build uses both natively. I didn't know that the computer did one as well.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So the computer does as well. So I want to mention that, because not only was I using, and honestly, the CPU doesn't give you that much an advantage, but you know, when you have a 5950X, you know, you have like 32 threads.
Yeah.
16 cores, 32
it helps
threads.
out a little bit.
That does help a little bit. So, you know, to give my desktop a little bit more of an advantage, because I just have that raw like cores, you know what I mean? Giving that boost. But the GPU, I got to say, it makes way more difference than anything your CPU can do. Even people that have like the crazy like 128 thread like beasts that you can get, it doesn't compare to GPU rendering. No. So it's just one of those things to note. But I got to say that the M1 Max with metal support, like that's a good result. That's a good result.
Yeah. I mean, I want to put that into like a little bit of perspective too. So like, I'm going to kind of fall into our next topic, if you're okay with that. Just a slight, like,
that's fine, because that's really all I had to say about it. Yeah.
So I just want to talk about how it does this at 56 or I'm sorry, 69.8 watts.
Yeah.
Which is what the M1 Max reportedly pulls from the wall. That's also including screen as well.
Right.
So
everything, yeah.
Right. So that's a mobile chip that's literally a desktop computer is only 50% faster than it.
Yes. At a significant power increase.
And a loss of portability.
Yes.
And you can get that same result from your MacBook on battery.
Yes. It's true. It's true. It's crazy.
And I mean, I'm going to sound a little bit like an Apple fanboy here, but we are literally on the first iteration of Apple Silicon.
Yes.
And it's already, I would call it competitive with the top of the line desktop graphics cards in a situation that they have dedicated hardware for.
Yes.
That's mind blowing to me. I mean, like I've seen results of the M1 Max beating a 3080 in video exports. I'm sure you've probably seen them too. So it's really interesting to me to see. Now, granted, the M1 Max has dedicated hardware for that, but that's part of what you get with the package on the M1 Max, right? Like you can't opt out of those. That's just a feature that's part of that's on die. It's on the SoC,
right?
But it's really interesting to me, you know, like if you're now any sort of like productivity professional, I don't know how you look at any other computer.
Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah, it's true. It's honestly, if you care about performance, like the M1 Pro and Max chips are just like ridiculous. Even just the M1 for most people is just ridiculous. And that's where the value is. Like the M1, the base M1 is like such a slam dunk value
I'm doing this whole podcast right now, like basically everything we're doing off of my base M1, off of my 13 M1 Pro,
which is
not M1 Pro, my MacBook Pro M1, 13-inch.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's honestly a legendary machine. I still have to sell my my M1 MacBook Pro. Yeah, I still got to sell it. It's sitting here like looking at me like, it's sad that it's got to go. But yeah, I mean, it's just such an amazing. I wanted to get my son a like an iMac. You know what I mean?
Oh, they're so nice, dude.
They're so sexy, dude.
They're priced so well, and like, I just love the look of it. That like I'm kind of trying to justify.
I know. You know what I mean? It's so nice, dude. I was like, I want to get my son one of these. I would if I could get him to game on it. You know what I mean? It's just like as of now, it's just so hard to. Like it would just be so much easier to get him a PC based computer that like he can play the games like so easily and stuff. You know what I mean? Like whereas like if I get him a Mac, I'm gonna have to jump through so many hoops to get him to play like anything, like even just Minecraft. Maybe not, even Java Minecraft. Like you can get that to work, but like he plays like the Windows 10 like Pocket Edition Minecraft, and like I don't think that's easy to get working on the Mac. I could be way off base, but
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
It's just a challenge that I don't want to have to deal with, and it's a shame because I would love to get him that. Like, how clean of a setup would that be?
Crazy.
And it's actually a good value, I think. Like, I would pay the money. He would get the keyboard, the mouse. He would get like an amazing display. He would get all in one, dude. It would just be like the complete package, and it would just be great. Package. I would get him that, but instead, I'm gonna get him. Like, I have my old water cooling, my old PC downstairs. I'm just gonna build that for him.
You're right.
Yeah, but like I don't want to do that. I'd rather get him the M1, the
new hotness, dude.
The new hotness. I think that's where Apple needs to go. Like for most people that I know, they game on their PCs, and like it's just not, the value isn't there right now as a gamer. But like it should be, right? It's like a software problem at this point. Like we have performance now, really. I mean, you can't get dedicated GPUs, which would be great. I think a lot of PC gamers like the modularity of their computers. They like to be able to upgrade them and put stuff in them and take stuff out. Not that not that many of them even do. You know what I mean? Like how many friends of yours actually upgrade their PCs? I get friends that might like
they call me.
Yeah. And sometimes they'll do it all at the same time, or like a new build versus like upgrade just individual components. It might be a GPU upgrade. Well, I see
think
that.
The problem is, and like I see this with my friends a lot too, is like people aren't like us, right? Like we basically change something out probably every year, or sometimes even quicker than that. Right. Whereas like the majority of my friends, right? Like I'll build them a computer and they'll literally run it into the ground.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And if you're that type of person, like, then who cares if your Mac isn't modular? Like the Mac could work for you. Yeah. It's just you need to make sure you have enough performance going in that'll last you until you get a new thing, And so I don't know. Like it's still the better value to get like a desktop PC, like performance wise.
If you game, it is.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
I think if you do video and photo editing, it's probably.
I think it's the opposite.
I think it's the opposite.
Yeah.
I do too.
It's because like what's great is like you can trust what you get from Apple, especially with their modern machines, because like it used to be, and it's still like that for like Windows based OEMs. Like if you buy a laptop, you might get like a shitty SSD that's like gonna fucking be barely worth like, you know what I mean? Like like SSDs now. Like it's if you're not in the know, you might just think, oh, it's got an SSD, it's good. But like, dude, we are in like a new world when it comes to SSDs now. Like you have like the M.2 NVMe SSDs that are like ridiculously fast, dude. Yeah, you might get like an SSD that's only like 300 read write or something, which is trash compared to what you can get. And like Apple's giving you top of the line storage.
Yeah, like 5700 read write on the new M1 Maxes. You bring up a good point too. So like talking about people who just need like a typical computer.
Yeah.
And like talking about how like the M1 13 is still insane.
Right.
I could tell you right now that if my computer didn't implode, okay,
right,
and I was importing photos, or I was doing, like maybe like a moderately intensive task, right, and I sat Kelly down at my computer and I had both computers running the same task, she would probably tell me that the M1 Mac is faster because just how much better the scheduler is on Mac OS.
Yeah.
I know we talk about that a lot, but like I think that like the perception of speed is
it does matter.
faster on Apple Silicon and Mac OS. I know that for some reason, like I don't know what it is, but like like browser tests people do, it's called like speedometer or something.
Right.
I could never get a Windows-based computer to get as high as my MacBook can.
And you're also running Safari and stuff too.
I am, so it's heavily optimized. But like, I got like 278 on that, and like I have no idea what that means or anything.
Yeah. So off topic, on topic, dude. You got me like wanting to try Safari, right? Because the other day we had a talk because I was like, yo, dude, my M1 Max, dude, 14-inch, dude, it's suffering. It's like, and you're like, what browser do you use? And I was like, Firefox. He's like, yeah, no shit. Because Firefox is having issues right now on the Mac. Like because I was showing you like this Windows thing is taking up like 32 gigs of memory. Like what the hell's going on? And it's Firefox. And I was like, I got to get off of Firefox, dude. I love Firefox. I don't want to get off of it, but like, I might as well try Safari. And so far, I got to say, like, because I can get ad blocking. Okay, Safari is fine so far. Okay, I can get an ad block solution. Okay, I can get Bitwarden to work. Before, I had, like, when I tried it, like, I don't know, a year and a half ago, Bitwarden wasn't working, and now it is.
Monterey or Big Sur, but when they added full extension support for Safari, it's huge.
Bitwarden was broken for a little while, but now it works fine, and I'm like, that's great. And then YouTube's better because it actually supports HDR in Safari, whereas it doesn't support HDR in Firefox. So I'm like, okay, well, where's the loss? This is great. And then I got to Reddit, and the thing is, I'm so used to Redditing with Reddit Enhancement Suite, like the plugin for Firefox and for Chrome and stuff. It's not available on Safari.
No.
So I'm like,
and like. They talked about it. They just on the money. Yeah, they just on the money.
Yeah, it's one of those things like to support like the small amount of people on Safari and like and then they'd have to own Macs and like do all this stuff development for it. It's just not worth it for them, and that's the one area I'm sad. So I downloaded a Reddit app off the App Store.
Narwhal?
No, well, because I don't think you can get the iOS version, right? I'm trying another app that it's actually developed for the Mac.
What's it called?
It's called Stellar.
Oh, I see it now. It looks clean, dude.
It's actually not bad. It has a couple drawbacks that I'm kind of like having growing pains trying to deal with. But like so far, I'm trying to see if I can live with like using Stellar for Reddit and then Safari for all the other.
Stellar and
try it out just to kind of see what I'm dealing with. It has a couple weird quirks. Let me tell you one of them. I can't figure out how to open YouTube like in the browser from Stellar. Like it kind of opens in a little window, but it doesn't let you full screen for some reason. It's like really quirky. And like I can do like a force touch to get it to open in like a little browser preview window, and then I can hit like the open in browser button. Like there's like weird little quirks that I'm trying to work around, but like it's just without Reddit Enhancement Suite, I can't use Reddit. Like I'm somebody that uses old Reddit, and with Reddit Enhancement Suite on the Firefox, and like I don't know. Redditing is like when I'm on the web, I have like YouTube and Reddit open like constantly, and I go back and forth between them when I'm bored. So like I need to be able to Reddit. I need to be able to Reddit. Hardcore. So anyway, I just wanted to bring up my Safari, but like so far Safari is pretty good. I want to stay on it because like battery life and stuff. I want to give it a chance. But the only reason I like supporting Firefox is one of the, I want to support anybody that's not Google. You know what I mean? And Chrome.
Well, isn't Firefox a Chromium browser, or is it not?
It's not. It's one of the they have their own like render engine and stuff. They haven't succumbed to Google, and that's why I wanted to support Firefox. They haven't succumbed to Google, and you know. And I use
Safari uses WebKit, so it doesn't even use Chromium anyway. So
I support Safari as well. The reason I liked Firefox so much is it's like I can use it on multi-platform, so I have it on like everything, you know. Mm-hmm. I use it on my phone and stuff. Like it's okay.
Well, my devices are all Safari accessible.
Yeah, so you're fine, dude. Like you're fine. Like and honestly, it doesn't matter. Like password sync doesn't matter in the browser if I use Bitwarden. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't really care about like favorites. I don't really do favorites and stuff. Like, so like I don't know. And like autofill doesn't matter. You know how like browsers save a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like Bitwarden has all my like autofill stuff in it. So I just don't care about like it's like I don't really care about having one browser anymore that saves all my info and then like spreads it across an account. Like I don't need it anymore. So it's like I can afford to be multi-browser. Like I could use Safari on my Mac and then use Firefox on Windows or whatever. So sure. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I just wanted to bring it up.
But this is actually pretty nice, dude.
Oh, the Stellar or whatever. Yeah, it's cool. I logged into it and I'm playing around with it. I kind of wish I could.
Pro, dude. It's $1.
I bought Pro. There's two problems I have with it right off the bat. If there's, you know how like there's an Instagram like album or not Instagram shit, like Imager album, and you got like multiple images. It doesn't show anything in the thumbnail, the little picture. It just is blank. It doesn't. It should show like the first image. It doesn't. Like most of the time on a Reddit app, it'll show you an image. It doesn't even show you a preview image of the first image, and that's not cool. I want them to fix that. And then I don't know. There's just like I can't zoom in and stuff like on the photos. I can't figure out how to like full screen them or do anything like that. I wish there was a little bit more options there. So I'm trying to work it in because I like it. I want to like it. We'll see.
Sure.
So let's move on, dude.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Give it a try and tell me what you think. But I want to move on to Mac Rumors, dude. So you were talking about ARM V8 and V9 and stuff. I think you got more to say.
So a little interesting video I watched in the past week. I was kind of doing a deeper dive into M1 processors and basically, you know, like what they are. So I guess a good place to start is the M1 is actually based off of the A14. Okay. I didn't know that. The A14 that you have in like the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro, the beefed up version of that is M1. Obviously with like some different tweaks and stuff, but that's why there was no A14X or anything for iPad. The iPad just got the M1.
Okay, yeah.
So with that being said, it's based off of ARM V8. So it's basically like ARM's machine code instruction set for all ARM-based processors.
Okay.
So there's speculation that when ARM V9 comes out, ARM V9 has like a ton of improvements. It's massive.
Yeah.
Again, as someone who's not really into like, you know, the crazy hardware level stuff, ARM V9 alone, if assuming like the same processor, like assuming the M1,
yes,
just somehow natively got ARM V9 support, it can't, but let's just pretend that happens, you would see probably close to an 11 or 15% increase just from switching to ARM V9.
You're kidding me.
Yeah,
that's so like unreal.
So like just like give you an idea, like we've been on ARM V8 apparently for almost nearly a decade. So like ARM V9 architecture is like a giant milestone.
That's impressive, dude. Like I mean, I was just thinking the other day, like unless we do like a process change, we're probably not going to see like the massive significant generational leaps that we've seen until we have a process change, right? But like you're telling me that with ARM V9, we could see like some huge generational leaps, maybe like because we're not just gonna get ARM V9, we're gonna get like architectural improvements, like whatever they do with the M2 or whatnot. So, I mean, do you think ARM V9's coming with M2?
That's the speculation.
Okay,
that's the speculation.
It'd be cool. It'd be great.
Is that ARM V9 is going to come with M2? That's the current rumor. It's going to have uh, it's based around 4 Ps, which is kind of weird. It's based around programmable, protected, pervasive, and proven in performance. Which is 5. I don't know why it says 4 Ps in this slide. But they're essentially saying that SoC is the chassis for the future of all compute. So they're kind of saying that, like, hey, this dedicated CPU and GPU thing, like we don't need to do this anymore. Like SoC is going to be the future chassis for anything that's computing.
Yeah.
It brings an entirely new vector instruction set for graphics. It brings native support for ray tracing. It brings native support for variable rate shading and different advanced rendering techniques that they didn't really go into.
That's huge. Okay.
And they did mention that it has performance and technology improvements that go beyond the CPU. And apparently the memory controller in it is going to be revolutionary. They didn't go into too many details on it, but apparently we're looking at upwards of double and triple the bandwidth of ARM V8 based processors.
Wow. Think about it, man. Like, this is actually really good because you see what NVIDIA is doing on the graphics side, where they're adding in all this new technologies. Like, it started when they introduced like G-Sync. Like, I guess it all started with their proprietary stuff, right? Like way back in the day. But then you got G-Sync, which was like the first really variable refresh rate sort of thing that we saw, at least for me, like personally. And then you saw them introduce ray tracing. With the RTX cards. And now you see other, people coming in and bringing in like, AMD FreeSync, and now you have VRR solutions on, phones and everything. And then now we have like our consoles with ray tracing. And on the AMD side, they have ray tracing and everything. So it's interesting because now Apple is bundling in those technologies into the ARM architecture, which I think that's great because it's preventing them from becoming obsolete in any sort of area. You know what I mean? Right. Like, they're keeping up with current technology trends, and they sort of need to. Like, people develop on the Mac, right? So if you're doing development, like, you want the Mac to be able to be usable, right?
So their main 4 pillars, if you can break it down to 4 pillars, are improved security, digital signal processing, so DSP, machine learning, and then enhanced vector processing, which is all of your graphics-based stuff, like your ray tracing and your variable rate shading, and
that's great.
All things of that nature. So the big rumor is that M2 is going to be based off of ARM v9, which is kind of weird, right? Because it's almost like, well, shoot, we're already going to be in 2022. Do I wait?
Yeah, I know.
Because like if ARM v9 is going to be as big as they say it.
It'll be another year before you get the new MacBook Pros, like 16 and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? So it's probably like, if you're going to get one, might as well. And then like if the next gen, like 16 inches is amazing. Because like, think about it. Mac trade-in is so good.
It's so good, dude. It's so good.
Actually, resale value.
Actually,
so
I
good.
found out something on Reddit that I didn't even know.
What's that?
So it's like this is secondhand information. So if it's wrong, don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah.
But I read it on Reddit, and then people in comments confirmed it. So like, let's say you buy like I'm gonna get AppleCare Plus, right? So that's $500 for 3 years.
Yes.
For my M1 Max, and it covers accidental, which is great. But if you end up trading in your MacBook to Apple before that 3 years is up, they'll refund you the difference.
What?
Yeah,
that's nutty.
Yeah, so that's let's cool. Let's say just for round numbers, it's $300 for 3 years.
Okay,
and your trade-in value is $900.
Yeah,
and you've kept your MacBook for 2 of those 3 years. They'll give you $1,000 trade-in credit because they're crediting you back the 1 year of AppleCare you didn't use. That's according to Reddit posts.
Okay,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's big.
That's huge, dude. Yeah, somebody could play that really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it, dude. So that's why it's like not that big a deal for you, dude. Like, get it. If you need a 16-inch M1 Max, get it.
Yeah.
And then just trade it in when you want to upgrade it, or trade it in, or do a sell it on eBay, because the values stay up. Like, it's like that with the iPhone. It's as long as you take good care of it, and I know you do. And you have AppleCare anyway, if there is a mishap. So, like,
So I'm also looking here, just going through some of these RMV9 slides.
Right.
The machine learning capability of it is also going to do super resolution, which is like DLSS built into the machine learning cores in RMV9.
Oh, wow. See, that's really good. I'm really glad to hear that. I want Apple to, and I'm hoping they kind of go the more gamer route. Like everybody's kind of wanted them to do
this
that.
Isn't innately to Apple. This is innate to ARM. So this would be akin to x86 or x64 instruction sets on the Windows side.
Well, it's true, but if you think about like the biggest player in ARM, it's absolutely Apple. Like they own ARM basically.
Well, that's my point, right? It's like you can kind of see where Apple's chips are going to go based off of what feature sets are coming out in ARMv9.
Right.
So, but it's really interesting to me that I mean, like, of course, ARM is saying this because they're ARM, but they're saying that the future of all things compute is SoC chips.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, who owns ARM? Isn't it NVIDIA?
No, NVIDIA tried to buy ARM.
They tried to buy ARM,
but they literally got sued.
Yeah.
Like not only was it shut down, they literally got sued because it's like, how could you not see what was doing here? The United States government.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, dude. Like think about it. Like the biggest player in ARM is Apple, right? Like they've contributed the most to ARM. Right. And it's kind of like a direct blow against Apple to buy ARM, isn't it? Like I feel like it is. Like for NVIDIA, like it's like attacking Apple directly almost. You know? But yeah, because like that would be, I mean, that's crazy. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, dude. So the Imac rumors, though. So you wanted to talk about Imac rumors.
I did.
So
and it's just brief.
Yeah. What have you heard? Because I haven't heard anything.
Yeah. So essentially, from credible sources, I forget if it's like Front Page Tech or like Mingjin Ko, whatever that guy's name is, that Apple has already entered production into a 27-inch iMac.
Okay.
To join the lineup of their current, what's the current one? Like 21.5, I think it is. The new boys we're just talking about. 24.
Yeah, they're so nice. I hope I want to see the next ones, dude.
So if you notice, the 27 is still the old boy.
Yep.
So everyone was hoping that the new 27 would be a Pro, but it looks like we're going to get 27-inch iMacs that are based off of the current 24 for consumers.
Are they going to be like M1?
They'll be rumor is they'll be base M1, and they're also making normal LCD panels, so no Pro Retinas in these boys.
So do you think we're going to get the M1 or iMac Pros?
I think we are, just later in the year than we had anticipated. So early rumors were kind of speculating maybe February 2022 we would see the rebirth of the iMac Pro with potentially M1 Max, M1 Max Duo, and M1 Max Quad.
Yeah,
which is kind of crazy.
Do you think they're going to do a Mac Pro at any point, or?
If I had to guess, I would say yes.
Do you think it's going to be modular like the current one?
No.
Okay.
Which is really odd to me because, like, see, like, that's a really good question because, like, the new Mac chassis is gorgeous. Everyone praises it.
So good.
And it hasn't been out that long.
I know. It really hasn't. I want them to keep it, dude. It's so pretty, dude.
I'm not sure what they're going to do there. What my speculation is, and this is pure speculation, is the iMac Pro will be configurable with an M1 Max or an M1 Max Duo. And then the Mac Pro will be M1 Max, M1 Max Duo, M1 Max Quad.
Yeah.
But maybe in a smaller chassis. I don't know. Just like shrunk down, like just shrink down this boy.
I want them to keep the design language because it is the cheese grater is amazing.
And like, here's the part that's really kind of wonky.
Yeah.
The design language on the Mac Pro follows the same design language that they made for the Pro Retina XDR.
It does.
You know what I mean?
It
has the same pattern. It has the same feel. I don't see them getting rid of it. I just don't see how they're going to make it fit into their lineup.
Dude, I really want that Retina XDR just because it's the Pro Display XDR.
Yeah, I want it too.
It's so sexy, dude. Dude, if I had the Pro Display XDR, there's no way I wouldn't like turn my desk around. Because it is so people could see the back, dude. I'm showing the podcast, dude. Look at that. Oh my God.
Yeah,
it's
dude,
like
you
such
want
a
everyone to see the
it's
back,
a feat of engineering, dude. There's no way, dude.
Can I just tell you that is so unapologetically Apple, where they make a product that has to be good from every angle.
I know, dude. This is why I love them, dude. This is so sexy.
Like if you look at the back of like any other panel, it looks like poop. It's designed to be up against the wall.
Dude, hold on. I gotta send you this picture, dude. Watch out, dude. It's not safe for work, dude. Don't even look.
I'm so afraid to.
Look at this.
Oh my god,
dude!
So good.
Get out of here, dude. It makes you want to pay for that stand.
It does, dude.
You're like, that stand really looking good right there,
that
dude.
That stand looks.
What's $1,000, dude? $1,000 don't look that good.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
If I had $1,000 stacked up on my desk, it would not hold that stand. It would not hold that monitor up.
It wouldn't. But this stand would. Like, holy shit,
that stand would, for
dude.
sure, dude. That stand would definitely hold it up,
dude. That's what. that's what I'm saying. Oh man, it's so
I like
pretty,
how we
dude.
justify things.
I know. We're like, you know what? We $1,000 bills can't hold up a MacBook Pro Display XDR, or you know, it's like stupid.
That stand can though, so it's obviously worth it because like, the money itself couldn't do it.
No, dude. Dude, come on. Dude, a regular VESA arm isn't going to be sexy, though.
No, dude, it's not going to look nearly as nice as that stand.
Dude, come on.
$1,000 to look good, dude?
Dude, come on. People, you know, shit, dude. Anyway. I just think it's a beautiful, dude. I almost want to get it, dude. You know how much my friends would hate me, dude? They'd be like, you dumbass. I'd be like, yeah.
I would.
Fuck you, money. That's what that is.
If I stay Mac, it's probably going to end up on my desk in some form. If they come out with a new one, if they come out with something else.
That's what I feel. I wish it had like standard HDMI input. Like I get it with the Mac. It's like,
it doesn't. No, I'm good. I'm good
well,
with
I
having
do though,
input. Well, maybe because it would be nice to like plug my Xbox into it.
That's
or something.
the only
reason.
I
probably wouldn't do it either because it's 60 hertz. But
good point. I mean, it would just be a great option, I think. Yeah, especially for if you want like
for the price.
Well, yeah, that too, and like just to use it on the PC, maybe a little easier.
Well, here's the thing, though. So like, can I play devil's advocate a little bit?
I mean, sure, yeah.
The Mac knows when you connect it. Yeah, Pro Display XDR to it, right? So I'm just gonna play devil's advocate and say that they talk to one another over the Thunderbolt cable all the time. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't the Pro Display XDR have a processor in it?
I'm sure it does to a degree, right? Like it's doing stuff. So I'm not sure exactly what. You know, the weird part is there's no on-screen controls. It's all controlled in the OS.
It's all done for the OS. Exactly right.
And that's really why a Mac is pivotal for the experience for the Pro Display XDR. You can't really do that much on a Windows machine to configure it properly. There might be stuff now in 2021 that people have like found ways to jerry-rig it to work well on Windows. I'm not sure. I'm not really up to date on like the current situation with Windows.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah, sure.
So you may know the answer to this. Does this monitor have any different capabilities or functionality outside of being 6K over the panels of the new MacBooks?
Does it what? Sorry.
Does it have any so what I'm looking at, like functionality or capabilities other than being 6K and weighing 26 pounds without the stand over the display in the new MacBooks?
I don't think so, dude. I think that they're, other than the resolution, because the dimming zones and stuff are, I don't know if they're better or worse as far as like density.
But the brightness and the accuracy is all the same.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen the measurements, right? I'd say they're both 1600 nits, right? Peak. I don't know.
They're 1600 peak, and they're both SDR calibrated to 500 nits, which makes sense. It makes sense.
It does. Yeah, I don't know what the difference is. I know that some people were reporting that the display in the new MacBooks actually is better because of the higher refresh rate.
Right.
And the Pro Display.
Let me see if I could find some.
Yeah, because the laptops have the 120 hertz. Even though people are reporting that the pixel response times are sluggish. So even though you have 120 hertz, it's not really receiving the full benefit because of the slow pixel response times. But with that being said, still a beautiful display. Now, it doesn't mean that even though this is 60 hertz only, that it's a bad display. I think that if they made a Pro Display XDR2, that I would want it to be the ProMotion 120 hertz display, and then maybe even one up itself in other ways. That'd be great, but we'll see. Probably not though, because honestly, the Pro Display XDR is still relevant, other than it being very expensive. I think is the main drawback.
So I can't find any info on the dimming zones.
Okay. You know, I almost don't think it'd be worth it if they, like, say they made a cheaper Pro Display XDR, like very similar specs, maybe even added ProMotion. Dude, if they got rid of that sexy cheese grater back to make it cheaper, I'd be like, no, dude, don't.
Okay.
Don't do it.
Okay. So I did find a reference here.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Apple claims.
Comparing? Because I'm really curious.
On the articles I have. Let's see.
Yeah. I mean, take your time,
I can't find anything on the number of dimming zones.
Yeah.
Apple that doesn't release that.
Yeah. How big is the Pro Display XDR like screen size?
It's 32 inches.
32. That's like a good size.
That's 32 a great size. Inches. It's 32 inches with 576 dimming zones.
Yeah, I think that's a great size, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about it because, like, obviously 27 is way too small for me, and right now we're on the 48, and that's like, you know, it's big, but like I'm used to it. So like going back to 27 is a no-go for me.
It'd be really small.
I can't do it. So like a 32, maybe I could handle, but like I don't know. I'd have to have it closer.
Well, they have to do something with this, right? Because
for sure.
Oh, dude! Speaking of that, I got a notification today. My polishing cloth shipped.
What did?
My polishing cloth.
Oh, mine too.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude! Well, mine comes in tomorrow. It's a Christmas miracle.
Oh my gosh, tomorrow, dude! I don't know.
Dude.
I just got a notification that it shipped, and I was like, "Hell yeah, dude! I want to."
Yeah, dude.
I've been like, my new Mac. I haven't bothered like wiping it, dude, because I'm like, I'm not wiping it with anything cloth, that's like not an Apple certified cloth. Yeah, dude. Do you think I'm gonna wipe it with what? Like a regular micro? No, dude. Yeah. I only do that in the Apple polishing cloth.
That's it, dude.
It's only the best for me, you know.
But no, I hear you, man. Like I'm pretty excited for it to come because you know it's going to be one of those things that's just it's just quality.
Mine says on the 27th I'll get it. Like so, I ordered it a little later than you. So
I recently went to the Apple store and I purposely told them I didn't have a mask because I wanted to get one of those nice Apple masks.
Oh, they give them?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, at least mine does.
That's so cool. I want an Apple mask. But yeah, the polishing cloth, dude. They're coming in, dude. Review coming on the podcast. Review coming, dude.
2-hour review of a polishing cloth.
2-hour review, dude. The podcast only we talk about that. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I have a magic fiber on my desk, which is currently the highest rated microfiber on Amazon.
Okay.
I have a D brand MKB edition 20 pack of microfiber cloths from D brand, and then we're gonna have the Apple polishing cloth, and we're gonna pit them head to head for some riveting content.
Dude, yeah, this is gonna be serious in-depth content. You'll never see you'll never see a more in-depth review. All right, I'm telling you. All right, so it is going to be good. So anyway, dude, let's move on to our last topic so we can wrap the cast. Yeah, we got what we're playing during the holidays, dude. It's holiday season.
Holiday season.
People are taking a little time off, you know, maybe playing a game or two. So what's going on, dude? What do you think?
Yeah, it's like this is kind of my favorite time of the year. Like that time between like moving into Thanksgiving and then up until a little bit after Christmas. Like I just love this time, right?
It's great. Yeah,
I love everything about it. I especially love when video games add something a little bit special for the holidays.
Yep.
I will say that Master Chief Collection during Thanksgiving had a playlist called Turkey Time, which wasn't necessarily Thanksgiving themed, other than the name, but it was still nice of them to do it. I recently tried out some of the hottest multiplayer games that I own this season to see, you know, who was kind of going above and beyond for the holidays. You know, who was going to put me in that festive spirit. And as you know, I'm a big Halo fan. Halo is probably my favorite shooter. But I have to say that Halo Infinite is the worst out of all the ones I've tried.
No.
I've tried Halo Infinite. I've tried Destiny 2. Which is, you know, as you know, it's Bungie's new baby.
Yeah.
Well, kind of old baby now, but it's what they work on. I tried Call of Duty Vanguard, and I've tried Battlefield 2042 to see who would bring me the most festive cheer.
Yeah, okay.
And Halo Infinite ranks at the bottom of that list, I must say.
Yeah, I mean, I like the new skin. I like the new. I'm gonna be picking it up. Like, I get it today, right? Like, I play.
Well, you should have gotten the peppermint skin yesterday. Today, you just if you were doing it every day from the time it came out. Maybe I didn't play
it yesterday. Dang it.
Day 1 was the calling card. Okay. Day 2 was the peppermint skin.
Yeah.
And then day 3 today is just a square left shoulder. And tomorrow is another square left shoulder. But if you've done them each day, on Christmas Day is a assault rifle candy cane skin.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and there's like 10 days, and it lasts 13 days, so you can miss 3 days and still get everything.
Okay, good, because I missed yesterday, so I gotta play a game after this. Get the peppermint.
So Halo Infinite has basically just gave us a timed seasonal event where you just have to play one game of quick play a day, and then you're done. There's no special theming in quick play. There's no special theming in the menus. There's literally nothing.
That's lazy, dude.
And half of the items in the Winter Solstice pack aren't even winter or Christmas themed. Like the shoulder I unlocked is just a gray square. It honestly looks like I took my Samsung charger and put it here, and then tomorrow I'm gonna be able to put it on the shoulder.
I know.
There's like maybe 4 or 5, maybe half of them are actually Christmas themed, and the other half are just random things they're forgettable.
That the last thing you unlock is like an orange skin.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It's ugly. It's like the most boring weathered orange you've ever seen. I'm like, this is almost brown. Yeah, I'm like, this is like a brown orange.
Doesn't make sense for anything.
Like, who's gonna rep that color? Nobody.
Yeah.
Like, and it's the last thing you get.
So, yeah, just totally disappointing, man. Like, definitely not feeling the holiday vibes in Halo Infinite this year. 343, if you somehow listen to us, where's your cheer, bud?
No
where's your
cheer,
holiday
dude.
Spirit,
you know who's got holiday spirit, dude? VLC.
little Santa hat?
Yeah, a little Santa hat on the little cone, dude.
Yeah, dude.
It's funny. I was on Amanda's computer the other day. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? VLC has a Santa hat, dude.
Yeah.
Look at that holiday cheer on VLC. That's nice.
So next we're gonna move into Destiny. Okay. Where if you play Destiny, I recently started playing Destiny for one reason. That's because it's Destiny's 30th anniversary.
Wow.
And if you log in and do the challenge, you get Halo weapons in Destiny.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, but they're not really, but they are.
They look, feel, and sound like replicas.
Okay. Yeah.
And they're kind of throwback. Like the battle rifle in Destiny 2 is now called the BXR.
Okay.
Which is throwback to
nice.
BXR.
Of
course. How cool is that?
I love that.
How cool is that? They have the Magnum from Halo 1 that sounds and shoots like the Magnum from Halo 1.
That's cool.
And what's cool about Destiny 2 now is, like, if the game's not for you, that's fine. But I don't know if I'll ever want to go back to it, so I wanted to get them because in Destiny 2, if you find a gun you really like, you can infuse it with a more powerful weapon, and then it'll gain those attributes.
Nice.
So like once you unlock a gun, you can essentially just use that gun forever, and then it won't become obsolete because you could just infuse the better gun you got into it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure to log in and get them.
That's cool.
Just because again I'm a Halo fan, so that's literally why I booted up Destiny 2 because I wanted to grab the Halo weapons.
Yeah.
And if you are a Halo fan, the BXR feels, shoots, and acts like a Halo battle rifle. It's incredible.
That's amazing.
Even down to how it sounds.
Wow.
So the entire tower, which is still like the home city, is all covered in snow. There are Christmas lights everywhere. There are Christmas music everywhere. There's an entire quest chain to unlock holiday ships, festive guns, all of this stuff. And all of the quests are like, you got to bake some cookies and deliver cookies. You know, and like they tie into like the story because like you have to go to like Europa to get like this like special Vex milk that people want for their cookies, dude. like big effort there. So props to Bungie for making me feel, and like every time you go back to the tower, like it's snowing and then the snow accumulates on the ground. And great experience.
This stuff is what's important for like returning players and stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
It's
really important.
I was really excited to see that in Destiny because, like I said, I logged in for the just to unlock the Halo stuff while that window was still open.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to, so then I booted up Battlefield 2042, and Battlefield 2042 has its own kind of like event pass for the holiday season, which is literally all Christmas themed stuff. So unlike Halos, it's literally all Christmas themed for the entire pass. That's separate from the normal battle pass, kind of like Halos. But they also have a game mode that progresses this special battle pass that you don't have to buy. And the game mode is called Attack of the Elves. And what Attack of the Elves is, it's kind of like, almost think of like Infected, where one team is like, they move really fast, they have a grapple hook, and they wear elf masks, like they're all themed, right? Like you actually wear elf masks, and you have a melee weapon, kind of like Infected, but it's a sharpened candy cane.
Nice. Dude.
And you basically have to run around, and it doesn't even use 2042 maps. It uses like remastered, like Battle of the Bulge, like old school, like World War II maps.
What?
So like you're like, it's like a snowy village where like all the people like huddle up in like an old snowy church, and then the elves try to go into the church and stab the humans to make more elves for more toys. And then that's how you level up that pass.
Hilarious.
So you know, tons of good vibes there. A+ Dice, you know, you did a good job with my holiday spirit.
Love it.
And then lastly, we're going to move on to Call of Duty Vanguard, which has a new Krampus mode for the holiday season.
Okay.
Which, like Battlefield, it does have its own Christmas battle pass. That's short. You can get it done during the holiday season. And what Krampus mode is, it's basically all game modes with points, right? So it's like 1 point domination. There might be some others like hard point or whatever. I don't know the Call of Duty mode. So like, excuse me, but like if there's a Call of Duty mode that has a point, it's in this game type.
Okay.
And while you're playing this game type, all the maps are snowing. The maps have Christmas lights on them.
That's cool.
Every time you respawn, it plays like bells jingling in the background. But what's really cool is if you're not on an objective, Krampus is hunting you, regardless of what team you're on. So like if you're not on a point, you get a thing that comes up that says Krampus is hunting you.
Oh no!
And then you literally see this big like abominable Yeti just running around the map, fucking people's day up.
Oh my god!
Like you can kill him and then get bonus points if you kill Krampus.
That's hilarious.
And honestly, it makes for a much better gameplay experience because everyone is trying to do the objective then, because Krampus will fuck your day up.
Oh my gosh!
And then like if you kill Krampus, you get a bonus. You get a bonus. Like it's just a really cool mode. And they even took it one step further that if you kill Krampus, he drops a care package that's themed as Christmas gifts.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And if and while playing Krampus mode, if one player calls in a care package, you hear ho ho ho, and a present drops from the sky, and the present is your care package. So they've also rethemed just normal care packages for the event as well.
That sounds fun.
So yeah, dude, it's honestly a lot of fun. Like the Battlefield mode and the Call of Duty mode are just barrels of monkeys fun. Like I would feel that like if you're playing solo, the Call of Duty Vanguard mode is probably better solo. But I feel like Attack of the Elves, like if you can get like 2 to 3 boys together and just like work together as like elves, like that would be a ton of fun.
That's cool.
So I do want to give a shout out to Dice and I forget who made this. I think it's Sledgehammer for really getting in the Christmas spirit this year with their games. So
that's fun.
I thought that's
totally
pretty
cool, dude.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I love it. Yeah, like the most I have is like I've been playing 7 Days to Die. It's a it's like a zombie survival game. It's kind of like a voxel based game where some people said it's like Minecraft, but like not. It's not even, because it's a lot more realistic looking than Minecraft. Like it tries to go for realism, but it has like a voxel based building system and stuff, zombies. And for the holidays, they have like little Christmas hats you can find when looting and stuff. So they during the holidays they have special loot tables that they introduce. So it's kind of neat that you can get those holiday items. You can get like a candy cane weapon and stuff like that. So it's just one of those things that's available for like the holiday season. I think that's kind of neat. But yeah, 7 Days to Die. It's a neat game, man. Yeah. We played it like a year ago, and they just came out with Alpha 20, the new update. Got a lot of major changes, so we fire up a dedicated server for just our friends, and
what game is this?
7 Days to Die.
Okay.
And it's like number 7 Days to Die. And yeah, it's on Steam or whatever, but it's kind of fun to play with your friends. You kind of try and survive in the world, and the gimmick of the game is like every 7 days is like a horde night where you have to try and survive the night, and like zombies will spawn and like try and overrun whatever base you're kind of living in or whatever. So what we like to do is kind of spend the first 7 days trying to get like hunkered down, build like spikes, walls, and stuff, and get like a defensible location. Typically, we'll find like a building. We found a church in our playthrough that happened to have some walls. We're like, this is kind of nice. So, and it had like a really cool like catacombs underneath it or whatever.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so we cleared it out, and then we took it over, put spikes like around the walls, around the perimeter, and then like 7 days, when the 7 days is up and it's horde night, dude, we just like, I built like a watchtower on top of the church building, and like we're kind of just gunning down zombies with like, early in the game you got like crappy stuff like bows and like pipe weapons. You barely got any ammo, and so it's kind of just survival, and you gotta try and loot and stuff. Fun game, dude. So, really fun game.
So the too long didn't read is you basically have 7 days to scout a location and make it defensible, and then on the 7th day shit hits the fan.
Yeah, shit hits like every 7 days. So like you survive the 7 days, and then now you got like another 7.
How
so
long
on
is
day
a day?
14, it's configurable. I forget what the default is, but it's pretty lengthy. Like it's pretty lengthy amount of time in real life. So you don't really feel like you don't have enough time. So but like it's kind of, there's different builds too. There's like a skill tree system where you'll gain experience and level up, and then you can put points into different things. Like maybe you want to be a builder type of guy, so there's stuff you can invest in for that. Or maybe you're an archery, you care about stealth, so you can invest in the stealth.
That sounds cool, dude.
That's what I'm doing. I'm doing like a stealth build where my stealth hits like do like 4x damage. And I'm investing in archery, so I kind of like one-shot anything that can't see me, almost, unless they're like really tanky. Because there's like armor, like there's more beefy zombies too, like biker zombies that are armored, and they got like leather jackets and helmets and shit, and like they'll fuck you up. And then you got like radiated zombies. Like later on, as the game stage progresses, because like as you level up, get more gear, the game is naturally scaling itself up to be harder. So every horde night becomes insanely hard. It's like eventually you'll have like zombies that have like explosives embedded into them, and you can, if you kill the zombie before it gets to you, you can stop it from blowing up. But if you just let it run wild, it'll just end up running into your wall and blowing a big hole in. So we've had that issue. So it's a really fun game, actually.
Good, man. That sounds awesome, actually. That sounds like it'd be pretty fun.
It is with friends, like it's a good time. So it's like normally I'm not big into the like kind of generic zombie survival game, but like this one actually is pretty good for what it is. But that's what I've been playing, dude. And
cool, dude.
I was thinking about picking up Red Dead Redemption 2 also.
Did you beat that yet or no?
No, I haven't.
Oh, dude, you definitely need to play that game. That game is really good.
Well, now's the time, right?
I actually prefer it to Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, like I know when I played the original Red Dead, that's how I felt. Like the original Red Dead was like fantastic. I loved it. And then they had Undead Nightmares, which was another zombie mod kind of additional game, which was like amazing. So I really hope, like, I love Red Dead Redemption 2. Like it's gotten a lot of praise recently. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos of people talking about it nowadays, and I'm like, dang, dude, I need to pick it up.
I loved it. I thought it was very, very good.
Yeah, I figured like now's the time because I got like a little bit of time during the holidays to pick up a new game and kind of like, sit down for like 8 hours straight and play it. Like I don't really get to do that typically, but like now it's like, okay, I got some free time off. Now it's the time to like catch up on some of those games that like sat in my queue for a long time,
And it's time to do it.
It's time to do it, dude. But other than that, dude, that's been kind of my gaming and playing Halo Infinite on occasion. But other than that, like
I play Halo every day. Both Infinite and Master Chief. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you've been playing on your Series X?
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean, I play Halo on controller anyway, and like I'm pretty good at it on controller. Like my average game is probably like a 2.2 to 2.6 KD.
Okay, yeah.
But since I play on controller, like the loss of a computer didn't really affect me at all. You know?
Yeah. No, that's cool. I love it. Yeah, and you've been playing the Switch a little bit too.
Yeah. I picked up Pokemon Shining Pearl, so that's kind of like my bedtime game.
Yeah, you catch any good ones? You catch any?
I just got it like 2 days ago, so I actually just got my first gym badge.
Okay, wow.
But I started with Turtwig because he's the man, dude.
Okay, yeah, going with that. That's the grass one, right?
That's a grassy boy, dude.
Nice, dude. Yeah, my son, he's he likes Pokemon, and he just got like one of these. It's like a box. It's like a Pokemon calendar box. Did I tell you about this?
No.
And he every day up until Christmas, he gets to open like a little section of the calendar and get like a little toy out of it. So he gets like, sometimes he'll get little Pokemons or get like little accessories and stuff that's Pokemon themed. And so every day he'll wake up in the morning and like open another day and see what he gets. Cool. So it's kind of a fun little Pokemon calendar. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just like one of those neat things, but I just had to bring it up. But yeah, man, I mean, that's pretty much it, dude. Let's wrap the podcast up, dude.
It's a good one.
It's been a wrap, dude. That's been the podcast. We'll do another one next week, the last one of the new year, and then we'll probably wrap up Technosthetic for the year and then start like season 2 of the Technosthetic podcast. Have it kind of like every year will be like a season.
A roundup, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, dude, this is like episode 20 we're on, so that's like 20 weeks, right? Approximately. Anyway, thanks for watching the podcast, and we'll see you guys next week.
Later, boys.
Later.